Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Mad's Monday morning podcast. I'm recording this on Saturday, and we have a new setting, a new recording setting, a nice and comfortable couch in my living room. Because my family is away, and I have this opportunity to sort of do this today. So hopefully this installment of the show will be up actually in the morning on Monday. That's the plan. That's my plan at the moment. And it will finally live up to the infamous name, Mad's Monday morning podcast. So yeah, I hope you enjoy this one. The intro is still pretty it's still pretty sketchy to do because I have to press all these buttons. But if I somehow set hotkeys on Streamlab, I think I could make that a little bit better. But yeah, I'm actually sitting directly below a fan. I don't know how much that's affecting anything, but maybe while I'm recording, I'll turn that off. Hold on a second. Should have done this earlier, but yeah. Yeah, our signature Madelinist, fucking poor preparation skills. But yeah, fuck. What do we have? What do we have in store? What exactly do we have in store? I have tea right here. It's, holy shit, can you shut up? Oh my fucking god, it keeps making noises. Just shut. Okay, you listened. It's so weird. But yeah, I have some lemon lavender tea, which is pretty good. And it's kind of, I don't know, it's kind of not as hot as it could be. And a snow day mug in the summertime. Living large, you know what I mean? Just fucking putting my feet up. You can almost see my ass. Lucky you. And yeah, we have a lot going on in the world. I don't know if anyone saw that video of those two kids. They seemed like kids. They seemed like they were younger than me or the same age as me. I'm 20 at the moment, technically. Well, technically, according to the Gregorian calendar and all that shit, I'm 20 years old. And there's this TikTok going all around of these two guys who seem like they're my age or younger, and they're just that big guy and his friend, and they literally posted on TikTok their location, and they're literally just posting hey, come hang out with us, we're cool, we like to come out to this river and just hang out, and we like to hang out and watch movies. And they were just looking for a friend group to form because they had lost a bunch of friends of theirs. And it was only the duo, and they wanted friends, so they literally used social media to find people to hang out with. Which is when social media originally was invented, that was one of its purported goals and points. That was the point of social media, was to bolster real life connection. And now we have the phenomenon that people call social displacement, where it's like, oh, that's actually not what people are using it for. People are using it to just escape real life and go into the internet world and only interact on the internet world. And all of the terminology surrounding this, like terminally online. You might as well be dead. Fatal online disease. But I hate all of that terminology, as you could probably deduce from my sort of opinions about like mental health discourses and contemporary psychology, and my sort of critical engagement with psychoanalysis is kind of it's all kind of it's all I'll use their terms against them. It's all symptomatic of the cultural pessimism that is sort of running rampant, because the media profits off of doom. They profit off of doom, the doom scroll. You're doom scrolling. You're doomed. You're terminally online. You have a disease where you can't put your phone down. You're addicted to the internet. You're addicted to Twitter. All of this. But these guys on this TikTok video were literally just trying to connect with other human beings in real life, using social media as a tool to do that. So it's not even like they were this kind of person, is my point in saying this. Although I am, of course. As I discussed in the last episode of the show, I am a fucking terminally online bitch. I cannot get enough. Since I was 10, I could not get enough of fucking the internet and electronics and technology. People say that's an Aquarius thing. I have a lot of Aquarius in my birth chart. Technology. Nick Land type shit. Although Nick Land is a Capricorn, but yeah. Unlike if Nick Land was like based and a hot trans girl who is communist. But yeah. Yeah. Fuck. I keep doing that thing where I'm opening all these doors and it's like, where do I go? Where do I go? Or how do I proceed? Did I miss anything? How do I proceed with the conversation? All right. I hope you find my chaotic personality endearing. But yeah. I literally saw that and I was like, damn, these are the sweetest, the most normal dudes, the most normal, coolest, chillest, literally the definition of chill. The word chill applies to these people so well. They're just chill. They're literally just chilling. They're just cool, Like they have the coolness factor of like the kid in high school who was like friends with everyone and no one hated. They're that type of people, you know what I mean? Like that, it was that type of kids. And the tweet that I saw posted of them, the tweet version of the TikTok, was this other guy making fun of them, calling them losers or something. It was either he was calling them losers, or he was basically degrading these two guys just for being fucking normal guys. Literally like I I don't understand, like, what is it? Literally just because they are like actually genuinely engaging with the internet and they aren't using any irony or like sardonic, sarcastic, like dark humor, or because they still think that you can use social media for real life connection which was part of its original purpose, by the way. I must reiterate. Um, like, is that why you're making fun of them? Like, why the fuck are you making fun of them? And then there's the fact that, like, they're not conventionally attractive people. Like, they don't fit the mold of, like, because this kid, he was very overweight, the one who was doing the talking. And the other one, he had, like, a shaggy hairdo. He was kind of, like, and he looked very, it's weird because the other guy in the video who wasn't talking looked very depressed. Like, he actually looked like something had gone wrong, like, or that maybe he was like nervous for the camera or something. Like, it was a lot of movement. There was a lot of stepping back and forth and stuff. Like, I don't know. I can only deduce. You know what I mean? But like, oh my god, like, why would you make fun of these guys? It's like it has to be something to do with the fact that they don't look like Chads. Like, it has to be something to do with the fact that they didn't look like Chads, right? Because like, why would you make fun of these guys? Why the fuck would you do that? Why would you make fun of them? They're literally like, it's the coolest, chillest, nicest two dudes you've ever met. And they're literally just trying to find friends. And the first thing that everyone sees on the internet about this, as this goes viral and like takes the internet by storm and all of this, is, oh, these guys are losers, these guys are dumb, these guys are dipshits. It's like, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me, dude? Like, really? Damn. You really are gonna say that? It doesn't make sense, you know? And so, like, that kind of thing is just like, it just is like, there's good in the world, you know what I mean? Like we can get all pessimistic, and like, honestly, this podcast with the topics that I kind of am planning on discussing is like, this podcast will beat BTFO any pessimism that is kind of seeped into any of your psyches. But honestly, like why would you make fun of them? It literally is like, it's such a wholesome, it was so wholesome. And I know someone who's like that. Like, we used to watch movies a lot together. Shout out to Cam if you're listening, because like, these guys remind me of him, because it's like, they're literally just normal dudes who don't have any kind of like toxicity about their personality or bigotry or anything. Like they're literally just normal guys who just want to hang out and just have fun. You know what I mean? And just be friendly with people. And they get shit on. They get shit on. But like, we used to watch movies like that, and like, it was like, when I would hang out with him, it was like, because, like, all my other friends, it was like, things would get weird when we would hang out. Like, my friend Nick, who I used to do a lot of like YouTube-y type podcast things with, things would get kind of weird, but like, because that's just like who we are. That's like, and our level, like, our relationship as friends is very different from most people's, like, you know what I mean? Um, but with Cam, it's just like, he was always the guy who I could rely on to just be a normal dude and just be wholesome. Just be wholesome and have fun with me and just fucking take our minds off the bullshit and have interesting conversations as well. Cam and I had interesting conversations all the time. And like, it was just so like wholesome, and like, it was that kind of energy that these guys were putting forward. It was that kind of affectation that they were expressing. And for whatever reason, for all these like overlapping intersecting reasons, people on the internet started making fun of them about it. And like that's such like an inhuman an inhuman reaction to have to the most wholesome thing in the world. Like, and just like it's very cringe to do that. It's very cringe to do that. But luckily, everyone else in my timeline saw it and was like, actually, you're the loser, dude. These guys are based and wholesome and wholesome 100 Big Chungus. And like it's just like, yeah, whatever. Anyways, yeah, that seeing that video though, it gave me hope for humanity. It's that kind of content. It's wholesome, ear and eye bleach content, you know. So yeah, if you ever get down in the doldrums, find that TikTok video. And find those guys if you're in their area and join their friend group. God damn it. That takes guts too to post that. Post your location and be like, yeah, here we are. This is where we like to hang out. Especially after it goes viral, because it's like, now anyone can look at that. You have to really trust the public to post something like that, you know? Like, yeah, it's kind of daring to do, but gosh, I think this podcast needs a co-host. I don't know. It is mine. Like, it is designed to have episodes where it's just me like this, you know what I mean? Like, the show is kind of in the program of the show, but it is always interesting and nice when we have guests and people to talk to in interviews and stuff like that. Still hoping. Wow, I got Les back in the Discord. Maybe he wants to join Rokun and I, and we'll make that episode up. Poggers! But yeah, yeah. Fuck. Where else can we go for topics? Topical. How topical of you. How topical of you. I'm like hitting the table and I'm watching the ripples of the water in my cup over there behind the screen. Anyways, fuck. There's been so many. Apparently, there's another like mainstream media article out criticizing Foucault. Oh, Foucault. The evil Foucault. The evil, dangerous Foucault. Fucking. Oh my god, dude. Jordan Peterson and his fucking consequences have been a disaster for philosophical and political theoretical discourse on the internet. Like, big time. Big fucking time. Big time, dude. Jordan Peterson has just poured poison into the whole fucking thing. Because do you really think anybody would really be talking like so much in the mainstream discourses about fucking Foucault and postmodernism and all these, using all these terms that they turn into like scary buzzword terms? Do you really think this would be happening all along the media if it weren't for Jordan Peterson's stupid fucking postmodern neo-Marxism thing? Like, really? Do you really think so? Like, Marco Rubio, Marxism was trending on Twitter today. And all because of fucking Marco Rubio. Dumbass fucking Marco Rubio tweeting something about literally taking a page out of the fucking Jordan Peterson playbook, tweeting about how, oh, Marxism is a philosophy that divides people into groups of oppressor and oppressed. And it's like, oh my god, bro. Oh my fucking god, dude. No, it's not the philosophy of Marxism itself that does that. The philosophy of Marxism itself teaches us how to understand the fact that we live in a society of classes. And because that's what makes up capitalism. That is what capitalism is, in part, is a fucking society that's made up of classes. And it's so exhausting to have all these mainstream discourses about scaremongering about Marxism and Foucault and fucking postmodern theory and critical theory, and all these popular critical theorists like James Lindsay, who doesn't know what the hell he's talking about, yet somehow he's a PhD, not unlike Justin Murphy, who wrote that stupid Base Deleuze book. But, oh my god, dude. Oh my god, dude. It's it's the most frustrating thing for someone who's actually engaged in actually trying to fucking find and learn about all these thinkers like Foucault and Marx and all this critical theory and all of this fucking shit and postmodernism, post-structural theory, all this shit. As someone who's actually trying to fucking build an acumen to understand the world using these theoretical lenses, because these are the ones that speak to me and my lived experience the most, is fucking exhausting to be surrounded by all of these people who don't know what the hell they're talking about, but they're popular and they have huge platforms and they're huge public figures and they're in the mainstream discourse and they're able to just spout it to everybody. And I'm just sitting here in front of my laptop in my living room ranting into my fucking Blue Yeti Nano mic connected to my MacBook in response. And that's all I have for my fucking response is my 300 subscriber YouTube channel. It's so fucking infuriating to deal with it. And it's not even really people who are that close to the mainstream. Because I was listening to Chapo earlier, Chapo Trap House podcast, and Amber on Chapo literally said, she literally fucking says, Foucault turned reactionary, with no further fucking explanation at all. Literally no further explanation at all. Just says Foucault turned reactionary, doesn't elaborate. Doesn't fucking elaborate. So it's like, these people can just say this dumb shit about thinkers that they obviously haven't fucking read. Like, they obviously don't really know what it is that they're fucking trying to talk about here. It's pretty clear to anyone with some kind of knowledge about this shit that they don't know what the hell they're talking about. And it's like, oh my god, like, can you at least make a point that has some kind of salience? But they never do. And it's so sad when, like, full disclosure here, I have not read all that much Foucault yet. I'm trying to get through Deleuze first. Like, I'm trying to get through Deleuze and Guattari, capitalism and schizophrenia first. That's where my focus is at. That is the locus that is the central locus of my thinking. In this stage of my existence. So, like, I can't really give you like a Madeline has read this kind of retort to these cringe takes at the moment. I can only say that, because it was a video where Chapo were criticizing Ta-Nehisi Coates, which is like, please criticize Ta-Nehisi Coates. But they were talking specifically about his use of the term black bodies, and Amber just spews out of her gob. She goes, "It's Foucauldian bullshit. It's Foucauldian bullshit." And oh my god, Foucauldian bullshit. It's Foucault bullshit. I don't even think she said Foucauldian. I think she said Foucault bullshit. And it's pain, it's agony, and these fuckers, these fucking people, literally just about the use of the term bodies, and it's like, I have a news flash for you. Any academic or semi-academic, or not even academic, any just popular use of the term bodies doesn't automatically relate to Foucault. It doesn't. Like, Ta-Nehisi Coates talking about the black body, it's not Foucauldian. Like, I don't even know if she's read him. And like I haven't read Ta-Nehisi Coates, but she's the one who's critiquing him. So it's like, and she's the one who made the connection. So it's like the burden of proof is on her to prove somehow that Ta-Nehisi Coates somehow is a Foucauldian, which it's pretty obvious if you look at his actual politics from how he expresses himself in the public sphere. If he's a Foucauldian, he's doing a pretty bad neoliberalized job of it. And you have like Jacobin calls Foucault a neoliberal. Oh, he's a neoliberal. Oh, Foucault supported neoliberalism. So true, bestie. So true. I'm sure he did. It's so fucking stupid to say something like that. Like, and here's the thing: biopower is not reactionary. The concept of biopower, if you want to talk about how structures of power in society control the body and how it affects the body, and like how power affects it, like that's not reactionary at all. It's not reactionary at all. And just because Foucault is a left Nietzschean, a French Nietzschean, just like Deleuze and Derrida, doesn't make him reactionary either. Because here's the thing about Nietzsche: we have to defend Nietzsche as well and his poisoned discourse. This, like I can't believe these people who act like these Chapo Jacobin people who act like they're so above the quote unquote professional managerial class, and they're so above these PMC liberals who all they talk about is identity politics, and they're so above postmodernism, and they're so above it all, and they're real class analysts. Somehow these people can't fucking read a book and realize the fact that Nietzsche is not a reactionary. Nietzsche was not a reactionary. Nietzsche was not a fucking Nazi. He was not a fascist. Foucault was not a fucking neoliberal. Foucault did not turn reactionary. Oh my god. They can't do it. Somehow these people who act like they're so smart and so above the stupid liberal mainstream discourse fall prey to the stupid liberal mainstream discourse. And they paint this picture of like, oh yeah, all these theorists who could give us a better understanding of social power and how to fight it, they're all just neolibs and reactionaries, folks. And we just have to as far as we can go is Sartre. Because for some reason the Jacobin people like Sartre, but they don't like Foucault, and they don't like Derrida, and they don't like Deleuze, and they... Actually, I don't even know if they've heard of Deleuze, but yeah. Jordan Peterson hasn't, or else he would be complaining about Deleuze more than he spouts his fucking gob off about Derrida and Foucault, which is already too much, because he clearly misrepresents and misinterprets these thinkers to an egregious degree where he clearly doesn't understand their point or their overall projects and how it's useful for liberation and not some kind of fucking neo-Hobbesianism. God damn it. I get really fucking angry at these people. Like, seriously, it's just too much. It's just too much. Everyone's stupidly attacking Foucault. It's like, Jesus Christ. Jesus fucking Christ. Every single domain of like popular media, I'm just like, why are these the people who somehow get the popularity and get the audiences? Why is it these people? Why is it these dumbasses? Literally, why? Like, why is Vosh the biggest leftist streamer? Why is it Vosh? Why does it have to be Vosh? That fucking dumbass. That cornball Vosh. God damn it. And Vosh fans in my audience will be like, oh, you're mad, Madeline's jealous, she's jealous. I'm not fucking jealous of Vosh. If I were Vosh, I would hate my life. Oh, fuck. But yeah. Damn it. These fucking people. Stop talking about shit you don't read. Stop talking about shit you don't read. Stop talking about shit you don't have any actual interest about. But obviously, me saying that isn't going to stop these things, because it's fucking part of the structure. It's like, it's literally part of the fucking media culture and structure to do this. Especially on the right. Like, Marco Rubio poisoning the discourse around fucking Marxism. Ted Cruz doing the same thing, poisoning the discourse around critical race theory. Which, that's like a whole nother can of worms that we could open in this installment of the podcast, because like, here's the thing also. Yeah, this all kind of connects, because the Chapo thing I was watching about Ta-Nehisi Coates and their sort of criticism of him, it was interesting, and it was like a good critique. They had like another black writer and activist on there, and it was a good critique of like what happens with these sort of mainstream, these black political voices who get readily accepted into the mainstream, like Ta-Nehisi Coates, these sort of black liberals. And how they kind of they pose the problem of racism and like white supremacy and stuff as if it's, and race itself, the concept of race itself, they pose it as if it is just an essential inherent reality to life, like intransigent, like it's not a social construct. It's literally just all throughout time. Somehow all throughout time, race just is a stagnant, static, unchanging, solid stone reality that just exists. Which is obvious bullshit. Because here's the thing also about Foucault and Marx. That's important. And Nietzsche, really. And the genius of these thinkers that I really love, and why I find their perspective so intriguing, is that that's not how anything works. That's not how any of these constructed societal categories and identity territories and all these things like that and concepts, that's not how they work, dude. That's literally not how they work. That's the point of materialism. That's the point of materialism and historicism. That's the point. That's the whole point of historical materialism, is the fact that race is fucking fiction. Race is a fiction, and racism is the reality that maintains the fiction. And racism is a material thing. It's a societal thing. But you did, and like honestly, the worst thing, like I go to college. I'm in a fucking state university. The worst thing about college, like pretty much, and the worst thing about like university discourse in our contemporary era is the discussions around race. Like, I hate to say it, but it's true. I wish that wasn't the case, but it's true. And the weird part about it is that I think we only have one teacher at my school who's black, and I've had him, and he doesn't see it. It seemed clear to me that he does not see it in the way that all these white liberals see it, as this immortal, unchangeable reality that we just have to like simp to and accept weakly. It's so weak and pitiful and disgusting how these people think about things. Like, it literally is a mindset of weakness. It literally is what Nietzsche described as slave morality. That's literally what it is. And like, that's the weird part, though. You don't get this cringe shit out of actual black people. They don't they don't actually see it like that. I need my water to continue this rant. And here I will give you a direct example. I will give you a fucking direct example. I was in a gender studies oriented English class. So it was like a combination of the two, but it was an English class, like technically in the course list it was an English class. With a teacher who is one of the best teachers at the school, in my opinion, and a bunch of other like smart students who I do respect. And this one girl in particular, we were talking about intersectionality on this particular day of class, I think. And this one girl who I do respect a lot, and I do think that she is very intelligent, and I like, particularly, honestly, I respect her because I know she's a lesbian and she's not a TERF. And I love when lesbians can acknowledge my womanhood. I love when lesbians can acknowledge my womanhood. But yeah, that's kind of another story. But here's the deal, though. Back to the story. This girl, I was trying to talk about how, like, because we do approach these things, like, sort of carefully, you know what I mean? And I was trying to talk about the fact that, like, white people get scared when we use phrases like white privilege because they don't understand that what we're talking about is a societal reality. It's a material reality connected to our society that we all live in. And how, like, because of the fact that I'm white and all of the people in this conversation were white, we will never have to deal with structural racism in America because we have that privilege as white Americans. We will never have to deal with all of the various disparities that exist legally, culturally, socially, that do exist as corollaries on all of these different levels. As white people, we'll never have to fucking deal with that. We'll never be rejected from a fucking, like, I do think that there is merit to the unconscious bias discourse because of those studies that show that, like, black names are less likely to be hired. Like that cultural structural assumption, that ideology of black people are lesser and unproductive and lazy and all these quote unquote stereotypes, they will never affect us. And that's what white privilege is. That's literally all it means. It's directly connected to changeable, malleable, and fixable societal fissures and problems. It's that's literally it. That's literally all it is. That means that it doesn't have to exist forever. Just like a race as we know it today doesn't have to exist forever. Because the only reason that it exists is because of a material fucking disparity. That's the only reason why we think in terms of races. Because it was literally made up by imperialists. It was literally fucking made up by imperialists to justify their imperialism. That's literally where it comes from. Even though you will have people who call themselves quote unquote anti-imperialists say stupid bullshit like white people are leeches and we just have to throw up our hands because white people are leeches, and we can never like the Sakai left, the settlers left, who just want to throw up their hands and be like, oh yeah, because of the fact that we're white we have no revolutionary potential inherently. We're just too spoiled. We can't help. We just have to wait for Africa to come, and we just have to wait for the black proletariat to come and save everything, because we just can't do revolutions because of our white skin and all this stupid nonsense. All this stupid cope that prevents you from actually engaging in any fucking real politics. And that's a whole different deep frustration of mine, but yeah, it gets kind of personal here. But this girl literally says, after I try to lay out that case, that like, no, we're not saying that because you're white you're immortal and you will face no real problems in the world. We're just saying that you will never have to face the problems that people of color have to face in America. You know? And in the quote-unquote West, more broadly speaking. But, this girl replies and she starts rambling on about how, actually all white people are racist, and actually no, she said all white people are inherently racist, and all of this blah 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 blah, kind of like. And I literally rolled my eyes. My camera was on Zoom. I rolled my eyes because it's this type of discourse. I literally have to plow past it in order to get to the actual substantial fucking point. Like, in order to make my point, I have to plow past and prove wrong, disprove all of this mountain of fucking defeatist bullshit, this anti-racism defeatism, that I have to sort of dispel before I can actually make the point that, like, this is what it actually means, and there's actually an avenue for changing these things, because I'm a materialist and I believe in fucking political action, right? Not just throwing up our hands and resigning ourselves to the state of things as they are. Whatever happened to the real movement that sublates the current state of things, whatever happened to that, whatever happened to the real movement that sublates the current state of things, whatever happened to it? But no, that's not what it is. For all these people, it's libidinal. It's honestly, it's practically a sexual thing. It's like a kink ideology. You know what I'm saying? Hold on a second. Okay, yeah, back to where we were. Because it's basically what they're saying is that they are literally pulling the cheap, overly simplistic move that is the straw man of the left that people like Jordan Peterson and fucking Ted Cruz roll out to critique us and misrepresent us as if we're all batshit insane, fucking lunatic, hyper woke fucking vampires who think that, like, literally being a white person is, like, inherently bad, and, like all this shit, you know what I mean? And it's like, okay, if you say something like white people are, I know what you're trying to say. You're trying to talk about imperialism, but just talk about imperialism instead of essentializing it. Like a stupid idealist, like, whack job. Like, why do you have to be like that? You're literally shooting yourself in the foot with this defeatist politics, this pessimism. It's just so cringe. And Ta-Nehisi Coates can say shit like, "Oh, the white cop killing the black person is it's just a solidification. It's just a manifestation of the rule of our society. It's the ideal rule of our world. It's literally platonic, stupid fucking idealism, stupid fucking bullshit nonsense, and it makes no fucking sense, especially if you're a trans person, to believe any of that shit, because our existence disproves essentialism. Our existence literally disproves idealism. It literally does. Because I'm not inherently a man just because I was assigned it at birth. So how could you think that there are any inherent intransigent traits to me or anyone else because of our race, because of the racial categories that we get lumped into because of our fucking physical appearances? If we were born into a different society, that wouldn't happen. And it didn't have to happen. Had racial exploitation and oppression not started, and had imperialism and colonialism not bred the ideology of race in the fucking first place. So, like, and I don't think any of these kids got any of this cringe shit from their black peers, from our black peers. I don't think they did. I don't think they got it from actual black people, unless every black person at my school is like a hotep, which I'm quite sure they're not. You know what I mean? Like I don't. It's literally all white people who say this stupid, cringy. It literally all stems from white guilt, I think. And like Robin DiAngelo, who can say, we need to cultivate a positive white identity. We need to return to our we could never. Us white people, we could never help the black people. We could never solve the problem. It's like, don't you think it's our fucking responsibility to fix the thing that we did, that we fucked up? If you view it in this fucking collective way, don't you think that not guilt, don't you think that we should take responsibility for that and fucking help black people and people of color fucking change this world so that we don't have to oppress each other any fucking more? Don't you think that? No, you don't. You think that you can just throw up your hands and fucking jack off about how horrible you are. It's so stupid, dude. It's just so fucking weak and disgusting. And it's only gonna, literally, if these people had their way in their libidinal dream and their investment, they would literally just flip the scales of oppression because they view it as essential. They view it as inherent. We can't overcome race. We must just oppress each other forever. So why don't we just allow black people to oppress white people? You solve the problem of oppression. How based? It's like, no, you're a stupid fucking idiot. You don't understand Marxism at all. You don't understand Marxism. You don't understand history. You don't understand anything. You're a stupid idealist, slave moralist dumbass, and you don't fucking get. You're literally shooting yourself in the foot, and you're defeating any kind of political fucking change that you as a fucking human embodiment could make in the world by acting like these problems are unsolvable and just intransigent realities of the world we live in today, wherever the fuck that means. And I'm ranting about this because it has pissed me off for so long, and now I just had the idea to talk about it on camera. Stupid fucking white fragility, stupid fucking bullshit, stupid fucking concept. It's literally useless. It's literally a fucking useless concept. And that whole white identity, white inherent, whatever. Hold on a second. Can you shut up, please? Anyways. That whole, oh, we need to cultivate it, but that's literally the problem. White identity is literally the fucking problem. Leave me the fuck alone. Stop texting me. It's literally the fucking problem. It's people thinking like that. It's so dumb. What we need to do is join together. That's what we need to fucking do. We need to fucking join together. Race is basically a division in society, and what we need to do is close it. That's what we need to do. But if you say any of these takes on Twitter, a bunch of 14-year-old stupid fucking white liberals will start calling you racist. Oh, you're racist. Oh, you're speaking over them. No, I learned this shit. I learned this shit from black fucking people. I learned this shit from famous black activists and radicals. That's where I learned it from. Black Marxism. I learned it from fucking black Marxism. I learned it from Pascal Robert. By the way, if you actually want to learn about black politics, listen to the This is Revolution podcast by Jason Miles and fucking Pascal Robert. He's literally a black political scientist, and he will explain it so well to you what the deal is with black politics in America. You actually get educated. You actually get somebody who knows what the hell they're talking about. An actual real academic with an actual fucking solid worldview of black Marxism. Which, by the way, it's not just, oh, take the oppressor-oppressed narrative and put it into race instead of class, like an idiot like Ted Cruz would think. No, that's not what it fucking means. It's an understanding that black politics has to be a class politics in order to fucking end racism and end race. That's the fucking point. Because it's a material fucking thing. It's based on real material societal disparities and realities. Which race is not. It's ideological. We don't have to live in this shitty world forever. We can make it better. That's literally the key that Marxism gives you, is the fact that we can change the fucking world. If we realize, oh, we created every single human institution in society, we are responsible for. We created it, which means that we can create a fucking better one. We can make a fucking better world. But no, every single discourse from liberal, so-called, quote-unquote, communist, racial ventriloquist, as Pascal Robert likes to say, politics, to fucking conservative, anti-left, reactionary bullshit. And then to just centrist, like, capitalist mindfulness, mental health discourses, they all want to tell you that you're weak, that you're a little fucking useless, that your existence is entirely determined by phantasms that are literally fucking products of historical realities that are changeable if we just take the action and do it. But no, that's just who you are. You're just white and useless and weak. That's what they want you to think. That's how they want you to see yourself. That's how they want you to see yourself. And you can't do anything about it because you have the curse of whiteness. You have the white burden. You can't do anything about it. It's such fucking bullshit. It's such fucking bullshit. There's a reason why Fred Hampton had a fucking rainbow coalition. There's a fucking reason. Literally go through the black radical tradition. Literally go through black Marxism. Literally fucking anywhere you want. None of this bullshit is in there. Unless maybe like early Malcolm X, maybe. Literally, like, yeah. I hope what I'm saying makes sense. But these people literally want you to believe, that racism is a problem that we can never solve. There's people on the right who want you to believe that it isn't a problem and it doesn't exist. And there's people on the liberal left, even if they call themselves communists or quote unquote anti-imperialists or whatever, or Black Hammer, whatever the hell, Black Separate, whatever you want to call them, they're fucking liberals at the end of the day because they're idealists, and they want to tell you that it's a problem that we can never solve and we can never do anything about it. Because it's an intransigent ideal reality of the world. And if you're white, you're just inherently bad. You just have this inherent racism in your soul, and you can't ever truly interact. You can't ever truly understand a black person. You know what? All this stupid fucking. Here's the thing about Robin DiAngelo, that stupid fucking cunt. She's literally a fucking grifter. But she's in the minds of people who used to call themselves my friends, who literally have had political arguments with me over the fact that I use the fucking word hotep, which is like, obviously if I hear people calling white people leeches, I'm gonna start using the word hotep, dude. Do you know what a hotep is? And like, oh, the only problem is the anti-Semitism. No, dude. The problem is the fucking transphobia and all the stupid fucking bigotry that they lump in with their quote-unquote reverse racism towards white people, okay? That's the problem with that I have with them and with that whole thing. That whole entire stupid fucking outlook. And I'm literally looking at you too, all the cringe people on my Twitter timeline who post. You're literally, I've seen selfies of you. You're the whitest fucking alabaster pale person in the fucking world. And yet you still constantly post about, oh yeah, cope cracker. Oh yeah, fuck. It's like, no, you cope cracker because you're fucking white too, okay? You're not fucking immune to this just because you tweet about it all day and you like everybody's posts about saying, oh, I hate white people. Shut the fuck up, you dumb fuck. Shut up. You're not solving anything. You're literally living in a fucking fantasy world. You're not solving shit. Read Adolph Reed. Read the fucking Field Sisters and go listen to fucking Pascal Robert. Actually engage with the fucking political people who actually know what the fuck they're talking about, and they will all tell you that this defeatist mode of looking at racism is fucking bullshit. It's a lie. It's designed by liberals to retain capitalism and retain the fucking world order that exists, that suppresses fucking black people and people of color, and that continues to perpetuate imperialism and colonialism across the globe, to plunder for the fucking purpose of the people at the top of society. And by the way, queer people are just as fucking, like, you can't make this oppression Olympics unironically and just say that the only problem in the world is racism, when we literally live in a world where, and here's the thing, if you want to actually talk about legal things, there's a lot more room legally to do reform against anti-queer bigotry, because you're not allowed to discriminate racially for things like housing, etc. But you are allowed to do that for fucking trans people. You are. You literally are. It's not in federal law. You literally are. So don't go fucking running your mouth at me as if I'm not oppressed just because you're fucking black. You realize that there's an entire class, and here's the thing. It's not all like one camp versus the other camp. This is a problem with our categorical thinking of today. There's a whole, were you alive? I'm sorry, did you miss the Obama presidency? Did you miss that? Did you miss that somehow? Did you miss that? There are literally black billionaires who are literally politically invested in keeping their own people down. Okay, you realize that? Racism wouldn't even be able to exist structurally if it weren't for people of black people's own kind existing as completely mentally colonized by the system and by white supremacy and by capitalism in order to bolster that suppression. Racism wouldn't exist without that mechanism. It wouldn't exist anymore. That's one of the fucking key retaining factors of it. Literally learn about the actual fucking politics of it. Learn about that. But no, I'm racist for saying all this. I'm just a bad white person. I need to stay in my line. Because all these people don't understand that they're literally just being trained to be fucking disgusting little fucking manager bug people. Little fucking bug people. Just flundering everything around, like stupid manager professional type people who literally they're just trying to cultivate a culture. That's it. They're just trying to cultivate a culture where everybody stays in their lane. They're literally social authoritarians. They're liberals and they're social authoritarians and they're fucking left-wing sectarians as well, even if they act like, oh no, I'm an anti-establishment centrist. No, you're a fucking sectarian and you're a fucking essentialist. Don't come at me for saying that it's essentialist when you literally say, right after I say that, you literally say, oh, if you're white you can't talk about this. If you're white you can't. That's essentialism. That's essentialism. Any statement that starts with if this, then you must this, or then you are this, is a fucking essentialist statement. That's what it means, dude. Learn philosophy, you idiot. Read something. Read something. Please, I'm begging you. It's hell. It's hell if you actually care and you actually engage in politics to be in college. It literally sucks. It literally is hell. It literally fucking sucks. It's enraging. It's fucking enraging. It's horrible. It's so horrible how stupid everyone, all these stupid fucking liberals. Why don't you just actually get on board with a radical political project instead of spouting your mouth about how useless and cringe you are all the time? Like, ugh. But no, even in that conversation I mentioned, have you heard of do you know who Candace Owens is? Do you know who Jesse Lee Peterson is? And it's like, and they say, oh, but those people still don't benefit. It's like, no, actually, you're wrong. You're wrong about that. People sell out their own minority groups for their own individual advancement all the fucking time. Have you ever heard of Blair White? Have you ever heard of Calvin Guerra? Have you ever heard of those trans people? Have you ever heard of them? That's literally their entire fucking grift. And Robin DiAngelo is a grifter too. She's a fucking grifter. She literally has a business where she goes around doing fucking bias training. And by the way, bias training isn't effective. Unconscious bias training in workplaces is only effective as a neoliberal mode of controlling workers and telling workers what to think. That's all it's effective at. That's all it is. All these people are the new authoritarians. That's all it's literally the new authoritarians. And I'm not saying that in a reactionary Jordan Peterson fucking stupid way where I misunderstand Marxism. I'm calling you out for your liberalism. That's what I'm doing. You might as well be a Jordan Peterson. You might as well be that. You're the same. You're the same. You're the same. Philosophically, you're basically the fucking same. Because you both believe in intransigent social realities. If you actually understood Marx, you wouldn't be that deterministic. You wouldn't. You wouldn't. Because he teaches us how we can take the reins of history and change the world. As a class. And we can only unite as a class if we surmount race. And go across and unite interracially. Because it's not... Because class is more fundamental than race in that respect. It literally is. But the thing, and that's the funny fucking part about it, the thing that is shown actually empirically to decrease unconscious biases in people is when they develop cross-racial relationships with each other on a personal basis. That's the only thing that's proven to help, is when people actually connect with each other. So stop saying that all white people are racist. Stop acting like it's a personal moral failing and start pulling together to actually cause a political fucking shift in the country and in the world. Stop being a fucking liberal idealist, nonsensical dumbass who's constantly just self-flagellating and acts like there's nothing that can possibly ever be done because it's just so, oh, we just have to throw up our hands. Oh, we're white, we can't do it. No. Be fucking strong. Take responsibility for your history and make a better future. Like anyone with any kind of like someone with a heart would, you know what like a fucking human being would. Be a fucking human being. Don't be a fucking rat. Don't be a fucking weasel like these fucking kids I go to fucking college with. Fuck all you people, by the way, also. Just fuck you. Although I do respect that one girl. I do respect her. Everyone else, you know who you are, and I just kind of don't. I just don't like you. I honestly, I just don't like you. You treat me like I don't exist, and I just hate you in response. And your politics suck. It's like you got your politics out of a porn film, and you don't know how to keep it in your pants. Like you don't know how to separate politics from eroticism. Like you can't just get off to it and walk away. You have to like. It's so stupid. It's just so stupid. But I don't even know if I made the point. But yeah, the dangerous thing, I probably have made this point, but the really dangerous thing about it is when they act like it's something that can't be changed. That's the really dangerous thing about it. It's the defeatism. That's really what it is. But yeah, good episode. Great fucking episode, folks. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I enjoyed doing it. Maybe we'll talk about this. Maybe, you know what's funny? Jason Miles from the This Is Revolution podcast that I mentioned earlier follows me on Twitter. What if I invited him on the show? That'd be so based. What if he came on the show? That'd be so cool. But yeah. Have a good night, or day, actually, since this will be going up in the morning, I hope. And I will see you next week for another episode. Don't forget, change the world. My final message.